Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Soshtvi and welcome back to another amazing video. I am super excited for today's video. As you can tell from the title, it's a reading vlog of The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson, one of my favorite authors ever. I am so excited to get this. I pre-ordered this a while ago. It finally arrived and we're finally gonna get to it. If you don't know what this is about, it's a young adult mystery. I'm just gonna read the back to you because it says it perfectly in here. 18-year-old Belle has lived her whole life in the shadow of her mom's mysterious disappearance. 16 years ago, Rachel Price vanished and young Belle was the only witness. Rachel is gone, presumed dead. The case is dragged up from the past when the Price family agrees to a true crime documentary. Belle can't wait for the filming to end for life to go back to normal. But then Rachel Price reappears and life will never be normal again. Sounds very interesting. It's a very unique storyline and Holly Jackson really does unique stories very, very well. So I'm super excited to read this. Today's reading vlog will start off a little differently. I'm going to a friend's house and it's a pretty long journey, so I thought I'll start reading this on the way. So yeah, you guys can come along. Just to let you know, this vlog will be filled with spoilers. I'm reading this as we go and I will be sharing all my thoughts. So if you don't want the spoilers, go read the book, come back, and then we can discuss everything together. Let's go. Here's my outfit. I don't know why I've gone all out with the look. I'm literally gonna be chilling at her house, but it's fine, it happens. I stitched Shake It Off onto my pants. I have like Taylor Swift lyrics stitched onto all my pants. Why not? You're on your own, kid tote. It's really dirty, but that's the Mumbai life. Let's go. Okay, so it's the next day. I'm home now. I went to my friend's place, had a great time, and I read about like 40 pages of the book, a little more than 40 pages, but yeah, got a little bit into the book and I'm enjoying it so far. I don't have much to say yet. It's nice, it's fun. The female character Belle, she is quite different from the rest of the main characters that Holly Jackson has written about, which is nice to see. She's a lot more feisty, she's witty, she's charming too. So it's fun reading about her and getting to know the family and everything. So yeah, it's fun so far. I'm definitely invested and I'm ready to see, like, and I feel like we're right at the point where things are about to pick up. So I'm excited to see where this mystery goes and how things unravel. I'm seated for this book. I had a lot of work today in the morning, but I have pretty much the rest of the day free, so I'm excited to get through this as much as possible. Man, I really forgot how funny Holly Jackson's books were. Like, I just read the scene where Jeff just got up and went to the washroom with his mic on and everyone can hear him peeing. Oh my god, where does she even think of all this stuff? I actually laughed out loud. Oh my god. I have a feeling that her grandfather is gonna have more to do with the unraveling of the mystery. Also, the little incident they brought up about like Belle peeing in the car, like her dad left her in the car for 3 hours. Is that detail important? I feel like it might be. Just, is there something sus about her dad? I don't know. So as we're reading more and more, we're getting to see obviously how much the disappearance of her mom has affected Belle's life. As much as she liked to say that she didn't even know her, she was a baby when she went away, it's clearly had an effect on her. She has some kleptomaniac tendencies and she's also really good at pushing people away. So Yeah, we're seeing those come up a little bit more and more as we're seeing her go through her life. So I'm excited to see how all of that also unravels, her acknowledgement of it, and all of that. So yeah, let's see. It's a little slow so far. We're still setting up context for everything, but again, it's only been a little over 50 pages, so I guess it's fine. Let's see. Hopefully, something happens soon. I'm trying to remember how old Ramsey is again because there's a mention here about Philip Alves, how he was stalking the family and they have a restraining order against him now. And he's gonna come up again, right? And I think a great twist would be if like Ramsey or someone on this filming crew was Philip and this is his way of coming back to solve that mystery. I don't know. I'm just like trying to pick at any straw I can find because this is a Holly Jackson book, so the mystery is not gonna be straightforward for sure. Rachel Price has reappeared. Oh my god, let's see how this goes now. Holy shit, okay. So we just got the explanation of how Rachel disappeared, but there are some things that are like off in her story, specifically like the details she's telling. Um, I'm locked in. I am very, very, very curious, and I don't have any theories as of now, but let's see. So, Belle is like really hung on to, she's like really fixated on that one discrepancy that Rachel said the engine was cut off or the engine was still running, and it's really reminding me of Pip from A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I don't want to like keep a link between those two books. That's a different series altogether, and I love that series. But yeah, like this entire fixation that she's having and her being stuck onto it and her trying to figure out if it's the truth or not is very Pip like, which is nice. I mean, it's I don't mind it. It's just an interesting thing that I'm noticing. So I have a lot of thoughts. It's such a weird situation, right? Like Belle is 18, so she's a child, so I can understand her resentment and why she's feeling icky about the situation with Rachel being back and she's not comfortable with her. I understand. But at the same time, it's like cut her some slack. The situation she's been through is traumatizing, right? Like cut her some slack. But at the same time, you know something fishy is going on, right? So it's like it's a very conflicting situation to be in as a reader as well. And also, on that same thought, as I'm thinking it, like if she's been through such a traumatizing situations, why isn't she like showing any signs of PTSD? Like, if she's been kidnapped by a man and locked in a basement for 16 years and then she escaped and walked all the way home, there's no way she's normal and just like, okay, let's go back to being a mom. Something's off, right? Obviously, we know that, but I don't know. I've just been thinking that as I'm reading along, that one of the reasons I love YA mysteries so much is because YA mysteries really get you hooked into the characters. Like, you care for the characters, you empathize with them, you understand them. Like, adult mysteries are great, but they're mostly plot driven, and YA mysteries are also plot driven, of course, but they're also very character driven. They're very about the protagonist and their mind and how they're feeling and trying to understand them. So it's not just about the plot, it's also about the person, which is something I like. So I'm on page 148. The story is a little slow, like her investigation is only just beginning, and it's like close to 150 pages. So I would like the book to pick up some speed, but I'm curious all the same. I don't want to keep drawing comparisons with A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, but I don't know. I feel like maybe her and this guy Ash are gonna be like a Ravi and Pip part 2. I didn't do this while reading Five Survive. I wasn't thinking along this track, but for some reason reading this, I'm like, there are parallels being drawn between Good Girls and this. One thing I do find interesting though is that, remember how I was saying that her dad seems a little sus, and they're talking over here about like people reporting, like in the past, who reported that, oh, they saw Rachel Price somewhere and fake sightings and stuff, and one of them was in North Conway. And in the beginning of the story, They were telling a story about her dad had taken her to North Conway for a birthday trip, and she was like, in her memory, he had left her in the car for 3 hours, but he was like, no, no, it was just 10 minutes. But at the beginning of it, I had said, ki, oh, is this like an important detail? Like, you know? So I wonder if there's like a connection between the two. But yeah, let's see. I don't know. Okay, so I'm like 200 pages into the book, so a little close to halfway. I'm gonna stop here for now because I have to wake up early in the morning for work, but hopefully I'll finish this tomorrow. I don't know why I'm going through this so slowly. It's a very easy, small read, but I'm still taking my time. I think just because the storyline is so slow, I'm also taking my time with it. It's good so far. It's just nothing extraordinary the way I expected. I think I definitely had higher hopes because it's a Holly Jackson book, and her books are always so packed in with unique storytelling and incredible pacing. Um, and this book is just paced very differently. I do, however, have a few thoughts. I'm at the part where she just interviewed her teacher because she suspects that he had some kind of romantic involvement with her mom back in the day before the disappearance. Um, it's interesting the way it panned out. I definitely think this teacher, her dad, they're a little sus. Also, the Twitter account, something sus about that. Like someone sent Ramsey on that trail, or something is suspicious about Ramsey himself. Because I do think that the documentary happening at this moment, it has to be more than a coincidence. I don't know. The guy who was obsessed with the case and then is also has to come into play somehow. And I also think that there is a man there, the one that Rachel claims held her captive all these years and that the police are trying to find. I do think he exists. It's probably that he exists in a different capacity, or maybe there's something else going on. I'm not sure. Like when the neighbor said that they saw someone standing there for hours outside their house, I don't think they're lying. I feel like the pieces are being laid out in front of us, but I am just not able to draw any connection between them. I don't have any theories still. Close to halfway, and I still don't have any theories. Maybe things start getting a little bit clearer in a few more chapters. I do want to start getting some sort of answers at this stage, but we'll see how it pans out, and yeah, we'll be picking this up tomorrow. Okay, so I'm just sitting down to read it right now. It's like 7 p.m., but I had a really busy day. So let's see how much we can get done. But I read like half a page, and I wonder if like memory loss or something to do with memory has like a part to play in this book. I mean, it's hinted at a few times. Chapter 25. So Belle just decided to tell her dad that she thinks Rachel is lying, and her dad said no, he believes her. And that sort of feels like to her like a punch in her gut. Like she thought her dad would believe her, but he didn't. And the way it's written, I love the imagery used here. So far in the book, she's been saying that like this entire thing, whether Rachel is lying or not, has been feeling like a knot in her stomach. And so over here, it's described as a punch to Belle's gut, knuckle prints in the knot that didn't fade. I love that. I love that. I just feel like her dad might betray her because there's so much emphasis laid on like how she trusts her dad, they're on the same team. I feel like it's gonna like bite her in the end. Okay, so her dad has disappeared. He's possibly left the country, it seems, even though he didn't take his car. I don't know. That's what's being insinuated here. And also, little detail, she saw, like, she was looking out the window to check if he was around somewhere, and she saw a man with a baseball cap hurrying past. Like, she saw a couple of people, and one of the people written down was like a man in his baseball cap hurrying past. Isn't that the person the neighbor described watching their house in a baseball cap, standing there for hours? So her dad disappearing, and the fact that Rachel is like, she doesn't give a shit. She's not worried at all that like he said he'd be at home and go for a plan with his daughter, and he's just disappeared. Like no response from him, nowhere to be found, no one knows where he is, not picking up his phone. That does seem worrisome, right? and she has absolutely no reaction to that. She's just like, Belle, let's do this. Belle, let's do that. I don't know. Something is so funky with all of them. I don't know. So lots has happened in the last few chapters. Belle stole sort of Rachel's phone, and she called up Julian and figured out that she had taken quite a bit of money before she disappeared and never returned it. And Julian hinted at he was about to say something, but Belle caught her off because she got so emotional. So irritating. But I think he was about to say he put a tracker in the money. Maybe, I don't know, not sure. He insinuated that she might be either afraid of her dad or her uncle Jeff. Interesting. So far, like, I think I'm like what, 240 pages into the book. So far, there was a lot of like, there was a lot happening, but nothing was actually happening. But now I feel like we're getting to the interesting bit, finally. I really don't have much to say except that they're watching Knives Out. And if Knives Out is some kind of clue about what happens in this book, I'm gonna lose my shit. Should I spoil the movie for you guys? Should I spoil the movie for you guys based on a hint? I don't know. I have a line of thinking. If that's true, based on Knives Out alone, I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. My hair's a mess. Oh my god. I have a theory about like Grandpa and Jordan and Rachel's line of questioning, and it's literally all based on the fact that they're watching Knives Out. It could just be a random detail, but I feel like it's not. And if them watching Knives Out was a hint to what the twist is in the book. My hair is getting messier and messier. We're just gonna ignore it. I'm on chapter 36. I just read the part where the police is telling her that her dad, the credit card he had been using wasn't actually him using it. Someone found his credit card and has been using it, and they found it at this cafe called How Cow Cafe. Okay, but I remember a few chapters back, I think, Belle threw something into the trash can, and in that trash can there was like a coffee cup or something, a discarded coffee cup with like a picture of a cow on it. And she was like, okay, Rachel clearly went out to get coffee. And that day, she hadn't just gone out to get coffee, she had been out of the house for 6 hours. Belle had asked Rachel, ki, where were you for like 6 hours? And then she saw the cup. So is it possible that Rachel had gone to this How Cow Cafe and that's where the cup is from? So all the clues point towards Belle's dad having changed his identity and flown out on a private small plane, flown out of the country and run out of the country on a fake identity. And there's a lot of sketchy things about this, sure, but I think the funniest thing is that the police is like telling her, he says, police is like trying to console her, saying, it's not a crime to leave your old life behind as much as it hurts. I'm sorry, he fled the country under a different name. You're the fucking police. It's what? Do the books have something to do with this? She was near the bookshelf at the grandpa's house, and she's been asking what they like to read. Both Belle and Carter. And then there's that book that they love. What was it called? Something, I can't remember, but that book. Is that book or some other book, do they come into play here? The plot twist has something to do with like Carter actually being Rachel's daughter or something like that. I don't know. I feel like I'm throwing out so many possibilities. I hope at least some of them are true. So Rachel just told the police that Philip Alves is the stalker obsessive guy. I don't believe her. So shit is exploding right now. Belle found like her dad's ring in Rachel's drawer, and she just outright went up to her, started screaming at her and asking her, telling her that she knows that she's been lying and what's really going on. It's interesting. And then once again, Rachel said, I had 15 years to imagine who you would grow up to be, and you're more perfect than any emotion I could think of. I think she's talking about, because Carter is 15 years old, right? Carter is 15, and she keeps saying 15, and she's been dreaming about how she would grow up to be, but obviously she didn't see Belle grow up either. Am I reaching? It's always interesting to me when we have a character who's a dancer in books, because 9 out of 10 times they probably don't get it right. Coming from a professional dancer here, it's not like something I'm too mad about, but like over here, Carter, who's a ballerina, Carter's mom is like, you don't need biology to be a dancer, but you do in fact need biology to be a dancer. Take it from someone who studied it. Like I'm latching on to every bit that points me to the Carter Bell daughter thing, but like um, over here it says Carter is never on time or something like that, and Rachel's like, I have trouble keeping time too. There's too many things happening at once. The gift is, of course, it's the book I was talking about, a memory thief. This book has to be involved somehow, the memory thief, and we keep talking about memory issues. What am I missing? Chapter 40. Apparently all these little details of like her dad telling her that she broke his favorite mug, or left a window open, or didn't seal the trash bags, all of those are like false memories that he was planting, like or falsely putting into her head that she was forgetting to do these things, but she wasn't really. The message in the book is that there's a letter somewhere in there that's like emboldened. So every few letters there's like, he had no past, the H is in bold, and I don't remember you, the E in remember is in bold, stuff like that. This is so Taylor Swift coded. If you know, you know. I love that. I love shit like this. It's giving inheritance games. Nice. Putting the letters together, the first bit of the message spells out, help, my name is Rachel Price. Is the author like Rachel Price, Aubrey Hart? That's the name of the author, right? I don't know. So her grandfather has been the one keeping her. The best I can come up with is that he might have been the one keeping her trapped all this time, except last summer he had a stroke and then another stroke, and that's when, so he had been keeping her, but then the stroke happened, and then he couldn't remember Rachel, and that's when she escaped, and then she was planning or hatching this thing. I guess like Belle's dad must have been helping Patrick, and turns out the message was in like all the books, like The Hunger Games, The Night Circus, Gone Girl, The Guest List, Stephen King books, Midnight Library, A Little Life, Six of Crows, Game of Thrones. I must say, Grandpa has impeccable taste. Okay, so they're going to the location that the grandpa had kept Rachel, and how much do you want to bet that they find her dad there? So they found her dad in the truck. She's gonna give the explanation now, obviously. Haven't read that yet, but I think I get it now. Like, the dad didn't know that Rachel was being kept there, but that doesn't mean the dad was innocent, because I think him and the grandpa had planned to kill her off, but the grandpa decided to keep her captive instead for whatever reason, and they wanted to kill her again for whatever reason. Let's see. It was literally the next line, literally the next page. Yeah, he thought I was dead because that's what he told Pat to do. That was the plan. But your grandpa wasn't supposed to just take me at 2 o'clock that day, he was supposed to kill me. Finally getting the answers. What a line. Rachel tells him, you probably thought wife killing ran in the family, huh, Charlie? Jeez. Grandpa was scared that her dad would like spill to the police about this grandma situation. So the best case scenario for him, he was like, okay, he'll just kidnap her and hold her captive for years, and that is the saving grace he's providing her, because he could have killed her, but he's holding her captive instead. What? That's okay, grandpa, sure. I really thought Jeff would come into play into all of this, but so far it seems like he doesn't. Jeff is finally here. I knew he was gonna play into this somehow. He's claiming that he saw the note that Belle had unscrambled, and that's how he came here. I think he knew. Carter is her baby. Oh my god, I knew it. Oh my god. Okay. I was hoping it would end with like Charlie falling down the cliff, but it wasn't just him who fell down, he took Jeff with him. Both brothers. Wow. This is poetic considering everything that she was talking about. Like, she chose her mom, Jeff chose wrong, he chose Charlie, and now they both went down the hill, both dying together like that. So now they're trying to hide the fact that the three of them were here, and trying to hide any connection to like Jeff and Charlie's death. Holly Jackson, remind you of something? I have like just a few pages left, so I think I'll probably talk to you once I'm done. Alright, so I have finished the book. It was pretty interesting, very unique story, which is exactly what I expected from Miss Holly Jackson. Was it her best book? No, because it really took a while to pick up, and there was just so much context, and it was really slow. It did not need to be this dragged out, but it wasn't like a bore to read either, because her writing is just so good and she's like really capable of getting you involved in the story. So I still had fun. I had a lot of fun. Would definitely recommend to people. The way everything resolved in the end, the fact that the only reason they're scot free is because Ramsey chose to have a good heart and said, you know what, it's your story, I'll delete everything. Like, that one guy is what it depended on. Also, Ash. So honestly, also throughout the book, I saw Belle and Ash just being good together just platonically. I didn't really care for them to have any kind of romantic interest in them, and it was barely there to begin with. But they were still pretty cute. It was nice. It was good. Like, again, Holly Jackson, the way she writes her characters reminds me of Morgan Matson. Like, her characters and the relationships are very genuine and grounded, and they feel real. So that was nice, and of course then we got the end that we got. I feel like she really has a problem with like her couples having a happy ending, but yeah, I was fine with the ending. I actually liked it. I like the way she closed it off. I think there's a lot to be said in this book along the themes of choice versus control as well. We see that with Charlie in terms of both Rachel and Belle. We see that in Belle as well, the way she is with some of her decisions towards Ash, especially in the end when she chose to destroy the footage instead of asking him to do it. And then again in the end with Ramsey choosing to delete the footage. And just in general, the choices all of them make, who they choose to believe, who they choose to side with. There's a lot of that at play here, which was, I think, a very interesting theme to play along. And it definitely explored like the gray area. No one is entirely clean, no one is entirely perfect. The way the story is and the way the characters are is exactly the kind of end we get. It's not a crystal clean cutoff of an end. There's a lot to be thought about, and I think that's really interesting. Also, I don't want to draw comparisons between this and her other books, specifically the Good Girls trilogy, but I'm seeing some parallels, especially in this one. I did not in Five Survive, but in this one I am. Quite a few actually. So, yeah, I'm seeing some patterns with her. It wasn't as brilliant, like I said, as maybe a Good Girls or something, but it was still pretty good. I think this might be on the same level for me as Five Survive. Maybe a little lower, but maybe on the same level. I'm not sure. I think I would need some more time with my thoughts for that. So, yeah, I enjoyed the book. Loved it. Let me know what you guys thought of it though. Like, were you able to figure these things out along with me, or like were you completely caught off guard when you were reading the book? I don't know. What did you guys think of it? Because I haven't seen any reviews of this yet. Like, I went into this completely blind, no reviews at all. So I don't know how everyone else is receiving this book, but yeah. If you've been watching all the way up till here, obviously you must have read the book as well. So yeah, share with me what are your thoughts. Let me know. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video. So thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you next time.